I am Astro Di Vedico, and today I want to present a technique of longevity, a theory of longevity that was published by Pravin Jagad in this book, Astrology and the Solar Computer. I think it was 2010, 2011, or even before, maybe 2008, in India, because this astrologer was Indian. Didn't know this astrologer and also his theory of longevity. So I decided to publish it in the magazine, Satirishi magazine, journal of Sunil. So I was the first to publish an article about late Pravin Jagad theory. So if now the Indians know about this astrologer, it's because of this article that I published years ago. So I'm very glad of this, very happy of this. In this video I want to show the basic rules of his great theory, as not many has understood it. So I decided to make this video. Now, the basic principles is that in the cover of the book it says this theory is kind of a new discovery in the sphere of astrology. It outlines a new method of determining the length of life from the natal horoscope. It reveals nature mechanism and shows how it operates. It clearly establishes a relationship between man and the planets, and also proves that the zodiac is not an imaginary concept, but it is real. Then he says, the theory of creation of the solar system. The rule of 10, 8, 4, 2 is talking about houses. Or we can say the rule of house exaltation of the ruler of the ascendant, Lagna, as discovered in the theory of longevity, has been used in constating the theory of creation of the solar system. Now, in the book, you also it shows how the planets were created with astronomy. Now, I'm not going into astronomy in this video, maybe in the next video. I'll only show you the longevity theory. Then he says, the basic principles of astrology, or postulates the theory of creation of solar system, shows that the origin of these basic principles lies in the process of creation of the solar system. So he has created two theories from the how the planets were created, astronomy, and how the planets are related with the human. So he says that there is a clear relationship between man and the planets, and he proves it in this theory. He also proves that there is a karma, so everything is written in the stars. When a person is born, everything is written in the stars, even the longevity. Now how does it work? Now in this video I'm showing two recent deaths, very important deaths, two great football players, Diego Maradona and Paolo Rossi. So I am showing recent cases that works with this theory. Now how does it work? Now, natural mechanism, it is the zodiac. This is the north part of India, zodiac. This is the south. Now, to show it works, it's better to use the North Indian chart. It is divided in two parts. This is the first half, the second, the third, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. It is divided in two parts. A and A, the demarcation. It is 0 degrees from the end of the second house, and it is 0 degrees from the end of the 8th house. So longevity is counted from the point 0, from the end of the second house, up to the end of the 7th house, 150 degrees. Now, as the planets in the Vishottari Dasha, the Sun gives 6 years of progression. It is 6 months per sign. So every sign, the Sun gives 6 months. The Moon 10 years. It is 10 months per sign. Mars 7 years, 7 months per sign. Mercury 17 years, 70 years per sign. Jupiter 16 years, 16 months per sign. Venus gives 20 years, so 20 months per sign. And Saturn 17 years of Vishottari Dasha. It is 19 months per sign. For example, let's say that the ascendant is Sagittarius or Aries. Let's say it's Aries, and the Venus it is at, no, let's say it is yes, Aries, and Venus is at 15 degrees of Leo. Starting from the end of the second half, this is 30, 60 plus 15 degrees, 75 degrees. So it would be the calculation, 50 months, so 20, 40, plus half sign of Leo, 15 degrees, it is 10 months, 20, 40, 50 months. These are the basic rules. Then we have the exaltation rules, that is of Lagrange law, the ascendant. The ascendant is exaltated in the second, the fourth, the 8th and the 10th house. So the ascendant lord is exaltated here, here, 4th house, here, and in the 10th house. It gives 60 years of longevity. Lagrange Lord gives 60 years of longevity if he is in the 2nd, the 4th, the 8th and the 10th house. This is the most important rule. Then we have the Karaka of longevity, that is Saturn. Saturn gives 60 years in the 1st house and the 7th house, and 19 of Vishottari years of major rate at the 2nd house and the 8th house. Now, the 2nd house and the 8th house are full rate houses. What does this mean? Before this, the active houses of longevity, where the planets quite always give longevity is the first house, ascendant, the second house, and the seventh house are active houses. 1, 2, and 7. So the planets quite always give longevity calculation. Then the planets always give longevity if they are in conjunction with or Saturn or ascendant Lord in any house. If a planet, let's say Venus, is in the second house, he gives 20 years of Visotari longevity. Instead, if Venus is in 8th house, as is not an active house, it must be in conjunction with or Saturn or the ascendant Lord. Now, this technique, as we know, the zodiac there are many yogas. There are 12 signs and 9 planets. So, perfection, there's no key for perfection because there are too many yogas. Because if we make a calculation, 12 multiplied by 12, 9 times, because of 9 planets, the figure comes to approximately 5159 million yogas. So it's not possible to have perfection. But as in his book he has showed 70 cases, he has studied 70 horoscopes, and in these 70 horoscopes he has discovered many yogas. Now I have tested this in these years, and I also combined it with my own theory that is titled Free Vedic Step Palm Theory, published in Saptarishi Astrology. Now, if we go through the book, there are so many yogas. So, as I illustrate the 2 horoscopes, I will also indicate the page where the yoga is. Now, the first other things I have to say. If a planet is in an active house, it gives proportionate longevity at minor rate. Minor rate is calculating the months, as I showed you before with Venus. Or full minor rate. Full minor rate are the Vikshotari Dasha years. Instead, the ascendant Lord, Lagna Lord, and Saturn give longevity at major rate. Major rate is a different calculation. These are the yogas. The first yoga is Lagna Lord, placed in 2nd 8th house, gives longevity at major rate, full rate, 60 years. Cutting in conjunction with Lagna Lord give longevity at minor full rate, Sun gives 6 years, Moon 10 years, etc. Then we have planets in conjunction with Lagna Lord, placed in 2nd house. They give 6 years, the planet gives 6 years of full minor rate, the Vikshotari years. The same in conjunction in 8th house. Then we have Lagna Lord, placed in the 4th or 10th house, give longevity at major full rate, 60 years. However, planets in conjunction with Lagna Lord give proportionate longevity at minor rate. Calculation of proportional longevity is to be made taking as if the planets are in Lagna. The same when planets are conjunction with Lagna Lord in 10th house. So Lagna Lord placed in houses other than 10, 8, 4, 2 give proportional longevity at major rate. Planets in conjunction with Lagna Lord also give proportional longevity but at minor rate. Now about Saturn. Saturn as indicator is Caraga of longevity. Placed in Lagna or in the 7th house gives longevity at major full rate 60 years. Unless failed by Mars. This is Nava Yoga. Planets in conjunction with Saturn give proportional longevity at minor rate provided Saturn is affected. Saturn in 2nd house gives 19 years and in 8th house gives 19 years of Vishottari progression. Saturn in 11th house does not give longevity. If Saturn is in 11th house, usually does not give longevity unless it is interpolated, exchange sign. Now, how Saturn gets failed? Interpolation of Saturn with Mars. In this case, Paolo Rossi, Saturn is exchange sign with Mars. Mars is in Aquarius of Saturn, and Saturn is in Scorpio of Mars. So they are both failed. Mars fails Saturn. Also, if they're in conjunction with Mars, or with Mars aspects Saturn, Saturn is failed. Then there are many other yogas that I will not show why, because the video, you must read my article, Satirishi magazine. Yeah, this is Paolo Rossi chart. He died in 64 of age, 65, 5th year. Born on 23rd of September 1956, 15 p.m., Prato, Italy. Time zone 1 hours. Dasha was Jupiter, Bhuti was of Venus. Now, Lagna Lord, ascendant Lord is Jupiter, as ascendant is Sagittarius. Why does Jupiter gives 60 years if he is in the 9th house? As I said before, ascendant Lord gives 60 years if he is in the 2nd, the 4th, the 8th and the 10th house. But he is in the 9th house. Why does he give 60 years? Because, I didn't say before, Capricorn and Aquarius are joint signs. For this, you understand, you must read the book about astronomy. Again, Leo and Cancer are joint signs. It means that Jupiter is in 8th house too. So it gives 60 years of longevity. The pages are page 153 and page 177. The indicator Caraga is Saturn. It doesn't give any years. It's failed by Mars, page 162. Because, first of all, Mars is in Aquarius. I put the signs. Aquarius, this is Capricorn, Pisces, Aries, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, and Scorpio, and Sag. They are exchange sign. So Saturn is failed by Mars. First of all, because he is in Saturn sign, and Saturn is in Scorpio, Mars sign, and they are exchange signs. So Saturn does not give any longevity. Venus is in 8th house, and as he could be conjunction with Jupiter, so he could give longevity at full rate, 20 years, but he is the lord of the 6th house. He calls it the pit house. Pit house are 6, 8 and 12. So lord of the 6th house in 8 does not give longevity. It is on page 168. Then additional longevity, moon in Aries. It's written in the book, in Aries, in Leo, in Libra, and in Capricorn, gives 5 additional years. As the moon is in Aries, he gives 5 additional years. Page 166. Let me read it to see if I was correct. So the moon in Aries, in Capricorn. Now, the moon in Aries gives 5 years of longevity. In Libra also gives 5 years additional longevity. Also in Cancer and in Leo. So where the moon gives additional longevity is Aries, Cancer, Leo and Libra. The total years are 65 years of longevity. And Rossi died in his 65th year. Okay, here I'm showing the second case of Diego Armando Maradona. Now, Diego Armando Maradona was born on 30th of October 1960 at Buenos Aires, 7:05 a.m. and he died on 25th of November 2012. He lived age was 60, died in his 61st year. Now his ascendant is Scorpio, and Lagna Lord, ascendant Lord Mars, is in the 8th house. So he gives 60 years of longevity. In 8, page 153. Saturn is favored by Mars because Mars is aspecting Saturn. So Saturn, the Caraga of longevity, does not give any longevity. So we have 60 years by the 2 most important planets. Now we will reduce it by 7 years of Mars, 7 years of Vishottari Dasha. Why? Because there is a rule, it's called Rule 68, page 178, that Aries ascendant is of Mars. He is a lord of 8th house, so reduces if he gives 60 years, reduces the longevity by 7 years. As the ascendant is Scorpio, again of Mars, he is the ruler of the 6th house, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he reduces 60 years by 7 years, and we have 53 years. So we start the rest of the calculation from 53 years. Now, we shall the active houses, as I said before, Lagna, the 7th and the 8th. Now, sorry, in the previous chart it was not the 2nd house. The active houses are the 1st, the 7th and the 8th. But in the Paolo Rossi chart, even his Venus was in the 8th house. Venus did not give any longevity because he was the lord of the 6th house. So now Venus and Mercury are in ascendant, so they should give longevity, or at proportionate minor rate by months, or by full minor rate Vishatari years, only if they were in the 2nd house or in the 8th house. The 8th house, even if it was not, even if they're not in conjunction with Saturn or Ascendant Lord, in the 2nd house, as it's not, it's a full rate house, but that is not an active house. A planet must give longevity, gives longevity only if they with Saturn or Ascendant Lord. So they are in an active house. Now, there's another yoga. The owner of the 8th house, that is Gemini Mercury, is Mercury. That is in Lagna. He gives half minor rate. So as Mercury in his Dasha gives 17 years, the half is 8 years, 6 months. So Mercury gives 8 years, 6 months. So owner 8 in the 1st house gives half minor rate. Page 169. As you see, I'm following the rules of the book. I'm showing these two cases because they work perfectly with late Pravin Jagad theory. Then we have Venus in Lagna. Venus gives proportionate minor rate. So proportional minor rate, counting by months, he gives 7 years of longevity. So we arrive at 68 years, 6 months. This year will be reduced again by Mars, because Mars is the owner of the 6th in the 8th house. Owner of 6, 8, 12, that comes in 6, 8, 12 house, reduces longevity, or by full minor rate, or half minor rate. In this case, full minor rate. Mars in his Dasha gives 7 years. So again, 68 less 7 gives the total of 61 years, 6 months of longevity. So very close at actual longevity of 60 years. Indeed, he died in his 61st year. So I have given an introduction how late Pravin Jagad theory of longevity works. I will show other examples in maybe in next videos. If you like this video, you find it interesting, I will show you other cases that are in his book. See you next time.